The government has notified the GFSB and the Chamber of Commerce that it will be taking measures to ensure a cleaner look and feel for Main Street. GBC has filmed a number of goods outside shops. It's not clear which of these are breaching regulations. For many retailers, displaying goods outside their shops to attract customers in is something they've done for decades.
It will affect us tremendously, because this has been a way of life, and people are attracted to the shop because of the few items that we display outside, and since as far back as I can remember, it's been like that, this way of life. This colour that we are adding to Main Street, it'll be no longer there.
How do you think Main Street would look without these sorts of displays?
Very bare.
We have certain things that are outside, which the tourists, whenever they pass by, would like to feel and touch, and that will encourage them to come inside, obviously. And by doing that, the more of them they come in, the more sales we have.
These things putting outside, this is only 4 or 5 months when the weather is good and all that. If the raining on the wind and all that, we don't put the things out. And this is the practice everywhere in the world, touristic place, they do it.
Yeah.
And this will affect a lot because now the business is getting more difficult as the cigarettes and all that, they have gone up, plus the new taxes coming as well.
Can you give us a bit more detail on what some of the retailers have done to make representations about this issue?
Well, the letter has been sent from the GFSB and letter have sent from all the shops in the Main Street. Okay. It's about 21 people, 21 shops of our kind. They signed the letter to protest it and just to explain to them that how business will be affected.
There are far too many sandwich boards that are unlicensed, and there are basically too many, and the place has become very cluttered. Same applies to tables and chairs for restaurants and also for shop facades. We feel that by improving the standards of how our shops look, that will make it, Main Street in general, a more attractive proposition for people that visit us and for locals when they're shopping in Gibraltar.
So just to clarify, for example, those shops that tend to have goods outside, we see them very often with souvenir shops, for example, that this would then stop that from happening. They'd have to bring those goods inside, is that correct?
I believe so, yes.
And you also mentioned this would cover tables and chairs. Could you explain in greater detail some of the cafes, for example, we see along Main Street that have seating? Are they allowed to do that, or will that also be stopped with this enforcement?
I believe so. Every cafe that has tables and chairs on the public highway, they have licenses that allow them to do that, and for which they pay a fee, and they also have a plan attached to the license which shows a designated area where they can place those tables and chairs. And I think that there are many cafes that are abiding by the rules, but also many that are not, and I think that the idea is to ensure that everybody sticks to the conditions of their respective licenses.
I did speak to some traders earlier who do have goods outside their shops, and they said, it's something they've done for a very long time that really brings in a lot of business for them, and they argued actually, brightens up Main Street in some cases, and that it would look rather dull without these types of displays.
Well, every person is entitled to their opinion. In my opinion, it does not improve the standard of how Main Street looks.
In a letter to retailers, the Office of Fair Trading says the restrictions are part of wider plans to make Main Street, Casemates and Chatham Counterguard more vibrant and attractive.